Hi, another topic I want to cover um, is how trapped I felt after 2014 when I'd been off for 8 years and then back on for 6 months, and I continued after that 6 months. Tried to stop, I couldn't get any medication, and everything got into a bit of a mess. So for 5 years, from 2014 to 2019, I didn't really do anything, didn't go anywhere. I just lived in the apartment, didn't look after myself, obviously. But the edgy living and all that sort of thing. But I had a bit of a routine, not a very good one. I used to have about 4 litres of beer in those plastic bottles, that cheap sort of lager. It's quite strong, really, about 5% from one of the local shops. And that gave me enough energy, really, to get ready and get showered and get motivated to go to the pub. And then I used to try and walk around the block, only a couple of 100 yards. Couldn't even manage that without feeling dizzy. So, this is terrible. So I wasn't going out, wasn't doing any exercise, wasn't even walking really more than 20 yards at a time. So I'd ring a taxi firm up. They would come, made them go to the middle door. I couldn't get out the side door. It was a week. This happened for years. Um, and then they would take me down to the local pub, which is about half a mile away, and I'd see a few people I know. That feels a little bit better. I had a few pints of lager, the odd Guinness actually as well. I thought that'll do me good. It didn't, obviously. And then I'd wait till the last orders, 11 o'clock. Or sorry, before that, I'd nip the off license and get another load of beer to get me through the next morning or the next lunchtime. So I had this rucksack, I used to fill it with beer and then go home and try and have something to eat. I might have half a tin of soup or something, or half a pizza in the pub or something, just all rubbish food. We'd get up again about 11 o'clock, um, have the lagers until about 3 or 4 o'clock until I was feeling all right to have a wash and get myself put together. And then I'd do the same thing, ring the taxi up. He'd turn up, 10 minutes later, straight down the pub again, same people in the pub, every day for months and months and months and months. And I decided to move. I had another property in the quayside. So, well, a change of scenery might do me good. So I moved on to Newcastle quayside. And it was worse. There was a bar just around the corner. So I didn't even need a taxi. I used to sort of stagger there with a few cans. And there was a little Tesco Extra or something around the corner. And they were open till midnight, I think. So there was obviously plenty of supply of booze. I always had to make sure that I had enough supply for the next day. And you feel really anxious about that. Oh God, if it's a bank holiday or Sunday, will the shop be closed and all this sort of thing? So you end up having a massive stock of alcohol in your flat, really. I didn't drink any spirits, didn't drink any wine. A lot of people are surprised by that. But you don't need to drink spirits or wine. There's still ethanol in lager and beer. It's just a question of how long you've been doing it for. You see, my consultant basically said my damage was done when I was younger because I used to drink regularly, not particularly excessively, but every day. Even when I was working shifts, I'd have a drink in the morning after nights, which sounds a bit horrific, but again, that's what people do in a work shift. I'd sleep like a log all day, get up and go to work at night duty, do that in the morning, have another drink, then we'd change a shift to late, so after late, we'd have a few drinks. Earlies, we used to start at 6:30 in the centre of London, and we would be on the underground by 5 past 5. So by sort of half 2, we're finished early, then we'd go for a drink after earlies. But you used to have to get to bed early. It was a constant battle just to exist, really. And this was before I became ill. So it was a pattern of behaviour all my life, really. From the age of 15, I drank pretty much steadily. So getting back to the apartment, the taxis and all that sort of thing, I felt so trapped then, I couldn't go anywhere. So people might say, do you want to go to the football match or do you want to go to the races? I couldn't do it because I just couldn't function anywhere else. I got so used to this little habit I had of my drinks before I left the house, then get a taxi, then have a few drinks in the pub, go to the off license, get my next supply. That happened for years really, until so early to mid 2019 when I started to feel really, really ill and I lost a lot of weight. And then obviously I went to the hospital. In October 29, I was told I was very poorly. So it creeps up in you. And there's a lot of people who have liver disease or kidney problems or pancreatitis. It doesn't actually show until I've had some sort of scan or some other illness. So you've got to watch what you're doing. And getting back to the relapse thing, the relapse is the main thing I think people are concerned about on here, because so many people can stop, they have a good run for a few weeks or a few months, and then it's bang on again. So let's work on that. Let's work on trying to get people to stay off it. Stay sober, stay sober, stay sober is the main message. Obviously, you've got to get sober first, which is probably easier than staying sober. And then you get these cravings. If you do, try and replace them with something, try and replace what you're craving with something else. Have a bar of chocolate or have a non-alcoholic beer or have something to eat or do something. You're capable of doing things. Listen to some music, read a book. I know it's not that easy. It's easy for me to talk about it now because I've done it. I'm confident with it. But in the early stages, I wasn't. It's been a battle. I mean, I'm 62 now. And I've battled all my life with this. And it's just the last few years I've managed to see the light and realise how wonderful life is. And that's what you've got to think about. On that note, please drop me a line or subscribe to the channel and I'll get back to you soon. Take it easy.